Hello children, once again I am here with a few more maps for you, and in this video session again we are going to cover a few maps related to India, and in this video I am going to give you a few maps. I am going to discuss with you a few maps related to the important cities, important places in India. Number 2, the mineral distribution in India. Number 3 is the rivers, all the major rivers of India. All these things we are going to discuss in this video. Once again, before I continue with this, I have to remind you all that if you get this useful anyhow, don't forget to share this with your friends and subscribe this channel also, because I know that it is 100% it's going to help you all for your exams, whether it's board exam or it can be the various competitive exams. So let's start with it. Number 1, the first map is there in front of you, and this map is related to the mineral distribution in India. Now, mineral distribution, basically children, we have to mark just 4 places have been given in your syllabus, and if you want to mark these 4 places, let's have a check how to get these 4 places on the map. Number 1, you can see here it's written Jharia. The first place you can see here, this is Jharia. Clear? And you can see the location also, the point where Jharia is situated, it is exactly in between these 2 rivers. Okay, between these 2 rivers you will just mark this at almost the center of this space, right? And this is Jharia. Number 2, the second place you will be getting by one more thing you have to do here. From Jharia, which you have got just now, from Jharia, if you start drawing a straight line down, when you draw a straight line like this, and from the other side take the tip of this river, okay, and from here again start drawing a straight line where these 2 lines meet, or you can say where these 2 lines intersect. That is the point exactly where Singhbhum is situated. So number 1 is Jharia, right, which is lying in between these 2 rivers. You can see exactly here. And when you draw a straight line from Jharia, or you can take this river, from here if you draw a straight line, and the same way you take the tip of this river and you move towards this side, where these 2 lines intersect, that is exactly the point which you have to mark as Singhbhum. Okay, this is the second place you have to mark in the mineral distribution of India. Now, if you are talking about these 2 places, Jharia and Singhbhum, both these places are important for coal reserves and the iron ore reserves. Now let's move to the next one. Next one is one place which is actually lying a little away from the coast, right, western coast of India, or you can say very close to Mumbai. And this place is actually, this is a point which is called as Mumbai High, right? There's a platform where the petroleum oil is drilled out. Okay, drilling is done there a little away from the coast towards the Arabian Sea side, right? This is exactly the point where you have to locate this Mumbai High, where you have to mark this. This is also called as the offshore oil reserve of India. Offshore means when we are talking of any place which is away from the shore, away from the coast. This is coastal part. Okay, away from the coast means we are going towards the sea. That is why it is called as Mumbai High, is also called as offshore oil reserve, or you can say the refinery. Refinery is also situated very close to it on the coast. So this is actually a drilling station where the oil reserve, the petroleum oil is drilled out, right? This is number 1. Number 2 is, you can see here in the northeastern part, okay, there is a state here which is Assam, right? You all know about it. This is Brahmaputra river passing very close to this place, right? Brahmaputra river is flowing very close. So this is Brahmaputra river, very close to Brahmaputra river. When you mark this point, just very close to this curve of Brahmaputra, right? There's a curve here, this part, and just below that, if you mark this place, this is exactly Digboi. Okay, this place is Digboi, Digboi, Digboi. Okay, now what is Digboi? Digboi is again important for the petroleum, right? Crude oil. But this is actually the Mumbai High was offshore and Digboi is onshore. Onshore means on the land. Offshore means we are leaving the shore and we are moving towards the sea. In this way you should keep in your mind, right? Onshore Digboi and offshore is Mumbai High. Clear now? So these all 4 places are there for the distribution of minerals. Now after this we have to discuss in the next map about the important cities of India. Now children, you can see one map is there in front of you and all the important cities are marked on this map. So you have to learn how to mark all these cities exactly on the map of the outline map of India. So let's start from the beginning, from the northernmost side, that is Srinagar. Srinagar is the first city which you need to mark in the map, right? Number 1 is Srinagar, and you can see here Srinagar is situated exactly at the tip of this river, and this river flows like this and ultimately it joins the Indus river. And what is this river? Can you name this river? This is Jhelum. Okay, just at the tip of this curved part is there. This is exactly the Srinagar. Okay, this is Srinagar. Number 1. Number 2 is, come down children to the next one, that is Chandigarh. Chandigarh is the second place you have to mark. And here if you see, this is a river which I am showing you with the cursor. This is a river flowing and towards the west, and it joins the Indus river, right? The name of this river is Satluj. This Satluj river, when it flows through India, you will find there is a little curve formed over this part, right? There is a curve in this. Yes, I hope you all are able to notice this. When this river passes through India, this is the Indian territory, okay? When it passes through India, there is a little curve formed by the course of this river, right? You can see here, a small curve is there, and just below that curve, there is a place. After leaving some space, you have to mark that as Chandigarh, right? A dot you have to mark there, and this dot is exactly the location of Chandigarh. This is number 2, second city. Clear? Now come down to the third one. Third one is also the capital city of India, that is New Delhi. Now, when you will mark New Delhi, right? For that, once again, you have to keep in mind a very thin line you have to draw from this point, right? There is a point here. From this point, as we move towards the western side, along the bank of Yamuna river, you will find Delhi is situated. Again, I'm telling you, you will start from this point where these two lines are meeting, right? It is actually a part of river and the border, okay? These are meeting here, and when you will take this point and you start moving towards west, as you go towards the right bank of the Yamuna river, you will find Delhi is situated, though it has now expanded on the other side also. Clear? So on the bank of Yamuna river, Delhi is situated. Okay, exactly this point you have to mark. After Delhi, we have to mark the fourth place, and that this fourth place is actually Allahabad, right? And this Allahabad is situated at a point where you will find this is Ganga river, okay? This is Ganga river, and this next one is Yamuna river, right? Both these rivers meet at this particular place, and this place is actually Allahabad. Here, this place is also called by the name Prayagraj. So it is exactly at the point where these two rivers are meeting. Now come to the next city which we need to mark here, which is Mumbai. Mumbai is a port city in India, and it is one of the most important ports we have in India. And Mumbai, when you will mark, children, you will have to come to the western coast of India, right? And over the western coast there is a little cut. Actually it can be called as an inlet, right? And this is actually exactly Mumbai. Okay, there is an inlet which is actually marked over the western coastal part, and this is exactly over there. You have to mark Mumbai. So this is the fifth city you have to mark. Now come to the sixth, the city number 6, and this city is Kolkata, right? You can see here Kolkata. And for marking Kolkata, children, one more thing is there. When you take actually in the outline map of India, there is one line actually showing here as just like I alphabet. It is present in this part, okay, which is forming a part of Sundarbans, the deltaic region. If you are getting this I above that, just above that, it is the dot you have to mark here. Just above this I, you have to mark this as a dot of I alphabet, right? This is exactly Kolkata. Or from the other side, if you can check, this is the river. The tip of this river you will take and you will move towards the eastern side with a very thin line, and as you move till here, as you reach, you will mark this as a point, and this is exactly Kolkata. This is the sixth city. Now come to the next one. Seventh one is Vishakhapatnam, right? Vishakhapatnam. Now Vishakhapatnam is there, children, at a point along the eastern coast of India. You can see here two deltas are present here, right? Godavari and Krishna deltas are present, right? When you move a little again towards the north along the coastline, you will find there is a little curve and it is going a little inside. This is exactly the point where Vishakhapatnam is situated. The other way we can get this point by drawing a very thin line again from this curve. You can see here like this. When we draw a line, right, this is one, and from this side if we draw the line, you will find at this point it is intersecting. The two lines have intersected, and this is the point of intersection which is called Vishakhapatnam, right? This is a place, Vishakhapatnam. Now after this, the next is Hyderabad. Now this Hyderabad is actually situated, you can see here how to mark Hyderabad. There are two rivers in this part, right? This is Krishna and the other one, the tributary of it is, yes, Tungabhadra, right? You have to take this confluence, or you can say the meeting point of these two rivers, and just draw a thin line towards north. As you move towards north, you will almost at the center, you will mark this point, okay, between these two rivers, and this is actually Hyderabad. Now after this, come to the next one. Next one is Bengaluru, right? Now where to mark Bengaluru? You can see here, this is Kaveri river, okay, this is Kaveri, and you will find the point from where Kaveri originates. This is the point, and from here if you draw a thin line straight towards the eastern coast, almost in the mid of it, that is Bengaluru, okay. The other line you can get where the Kaveri river is getting curved, this part. If you draw a straight line from here, and this line already you have drawn, so the intersection point which you get here, that is Bengaluru. and the point which is actually this river is touching the eastern coast of India at a point. This point which is located by this line, this is actually Chennai, right? A dot, a point which we have got by drawing this line on the east coast, this is exactly Chennai. Now come to the next one and the last actually, and this is Kochi. This is Kochi. You can see here how to get this location of Kochi. Again, we have come to the western coast, the southernmost part of the western coast you will find. How to get this point exactly? You can see here this part of Indian mainland is there, right? There is a curve, and from here if you draw a straight line towards the western coast, you will get a point. This point is exactly the location of this place, that is Kochi. This is Kochi. Now just a quick recap of all that. Srinagar at the tip of this river, right? Number one. Number two, a curve is there, a little curve is there in the river. What is this river? This river is Satluj River. Now there is a little curve in this when it crosses through India. Just below that curve you will find Chandigarh is located. Okay, then come to Delhi. Delhi, if you get actually these two lines and from here you draw a thin line towards the western side, you will find along the bank of Yamuna River, Delhi is situated. Fourth one, Allahabad. The point where Ganga and Yamuna, two rivers, are meeting, this is exactly Allahabad. After this come to Kolkata. Towards the eastern side, if you go along the eastern coast, you will find there is a delta which is formed in this part, right? Where the delta is starting, okay, in the map especially I am telling you, in the outline map, there is a point where delta is starting from here, okay, and there is a I shape, and you can say a small line is there which actually resembles the alphabet I, okay, and just above that if you mark a dot, right, a dot of I, that is exactly Kolkata, right? From the other side you can have a check. The tip of this river, if you draw a straight line from here, a point you will be getting just above this I mark, and this will be Kolkata. Now the next one, Visakhapatnam. For Visakhapatnam, I told you that these two deltas already we have, okay. This is Krishna delta, this is Godavari delta. After that you will find there is a little curve again, right, where it goes inside, a little inside. This point we are getting, and this is exactly Visakhapatnam. The other way you can easily get this point by drawing the two lines. One is from this curve, you can see here. This is actually Mahanadi River, and the line, when we draw a straight line from this part on the eastern coast, and this is exactly Visakhapatnam. Now let's move to the next one. Next is actually Hyderabad. Now how to get this place, Hyderabad? You will find children here, this is actually Krishna River, okay, Krishna and Tungabhadra. Tungabhadra is a small tributary of Krishna. At the point where these two rivers are meeting, from there if you draw a straight line upside, okay, towards the north, you will find there is a point which is exactly Hyderabad, right? From here, this is the point, and you can take this point when you draw a line from here, from the eastern side, and it goes straight to give you the location of Hyderabad. Now the next one is Bengaluru. How to get Bengaluru and Chennai? These two are the places you can easily get. Once if you have got any one of these, you will be able to easily mark the other one also. How? Let's see. From this point, okay, from the point from where the Kaveri River originates, right? From this point, if you draw a straight line coming towards the eastern coast, at the point where it is joining the east coast, that point is Chennai. First of all, mark Chennai. Okay, a point which is actually which we have got by this, when this line is joining the eastern coast, right? When this line has been drawn, we are getting one point where it is actually touching the eastern coast, and this point is Chennai, right? Now if we say Bengaluru, now where is Bengaluru? Where to mark this place? Come back again to the same line which was drawn, right? And over that line, if you draw a straight line from this Kaveri, this curved part is there, okay, and there is a straight part of this course of this Kaveri river. If you draw a straight line from this, it will intersect this line, the first one, right? And the intersecting point is Bengaluru. Okay, the point of intersection of these two lines is actually Bengaluru, right? Now come to the next one. Next is Kochi. You can see now, children, this is actually a port again. It is lying on the western coast of India. Clear? This is western coast of India, and along the Malabar coast especially Kochi is lying. Now how to locate this place? This place is lying exactly when we draw a line from this curved part of India, right? Of the coastline of India. From here, if you start drawing a line, it will meet the western coast at this point, and this point is exactly the location of Kochi. Now one more place is left here, children, that is Mumbai. On the western coast of India again, there is a very important port city of India. This is Mumbai. How to mark this now? It is very easy again. Along the line which is showing you the western coast of India, you will find one small inlet is there in this part, right? There is a small inlet. A cut is there in the mainland. This is actually showing us the Mumbai, the location of Mumbai. So which all cities we have marked now? Srinagar, Chandigarh, Delhi, Allahabad, Mumbai, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam, Bengaluru, Chennai and Kochi. Now the next map which we have to start here is the map of rivers. Okay, all the important rivers of India which we have to cover, all these rivers are shown here in this map. Now let's start with this. Number one, the first river you can see is the Indus River, right? It is starting from this point, right? The first river is Indus River. It is shown here, and I am showing you with the help of cursor also this one. Got it, children? It is starting from this point, very close to Mansarovar Lake. Okay, it is not in, the origin is not there in India. Okay, it is starting from Mansarovar Lake and very close to Mansarovar, and when it starts moving towards northwestern side, okay, this is northwestern side, as it starts moving towards this side, there is a point where it actually crosses the Indian territory, and then it starts moving towards the south and southwest, and this is actually where the river is flowing through Pakistan. Okay, this is a point from where Indus enters into Pakistan. Okay, so you can see, children, just a small part of it, just a small distance it covers in the Indian territory. Okay, so this is the first river you have to mark, the first one. From here it starts, it moves like this towards the northwestern side, again it takes a southern turn, right? It moves down to south and southwest, and in this manner as it moves, it joins the Arabian Sea. Okay, as it joins the Arabian Sea, this is actually called as Indus, right? It is crossing through 3 countries. Now after this, this is one of the most important rivers of India. Okay, the river system of India. Clear? Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra, these are the 3 river systems. Okay, so this is just Indus River, just one river, that is Indus River. It's not the river system. actually river system includes the mainstream. Here the mainstream is Indus, and along with this all the small tributaries and distributaries which are formed there, which are related with that river, these all come under the river system. Okay, now in the Indus river system you will find, children, the first river is Indus, right? After that, when we start the second river, you can see here, right, by the light colored line it has been shown, the dotted line has been shown. This river is actually Jhelum river, right? If you remember, we have done in the earlier map, at the tip of the Jhelum river, this curve, right, there is a curve here, and at the tip of it Srinagar is situated. Okay, so this is actually the Jhelum river, flows like this, and ultimately it joins the Chenab river, and this is actually one of the tributaries. Now let's move to the next one. Next river is Chenab. Okay, Chenab is, again, it is just a small part. Some part of it is there in India, maximum part of it is there in, again, Pakistan. Okay, not only Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, all these rivers, a major part of all these rivers lie in Pakistan, right? Now let's see, this is actually the Chenab river. It is starting from this point, and as it moves towards the western side, there is a point here in the border of India and Pakistan, right? There is a boundary, there is a curve on the boundary of India and Pakistan. At this point it starts moving towards the southwest. Okay, this is Chenab river. Again I am showing you, children. It starts from here, it reaches this curved part, and it starts moving towards southwest, and it joins the Indus river. So this is again one of the important tributaries of Indus, right? Now come to next one. Again a small river is there which is joining the Chenab river. Okay, it is also taken as a tributary of Indus, because ultimately whether it is Jhelum, whether it is Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, all these rivers are joining the Indus river only. That's why these all rivers are called as the tributaries of Indus. Okay, so this is Ravi. This is the next river which is actually called Ravi. Just a small part is there in India, rest of it is there in Pakistan. Now let's move to the next one. Next one is Beas river. This is a small river actually, right? This is Beas river, and it is present within India, right? It flows like this and it joins the Satluj river within India. So these are the main rivers. Besides this, you'll find Satluj river is also there, and Satluj river is again, children, it is flowing through the three countries. Okay, from here it originates. You can see here in between the Himalayas, it is originating, it flows through this part, right, through the territory of India, it crosses this part, and after that it again enters Pakistan and joins Indus river. So this river is Satluj. This is entire you can say system of river is called as Indus river system. Now let's move to the next part of it. Next part of it is actually this one, the main river. If you can see here, children, this is Ganga river. Okay, this is Ganga river, right? Now some tributaries are joining Ganga river also in the way. First one, the most important one, you can see, right? This is on the right bank of the Ganga river, and this is the first tributary is Yamuna. Okay, it is flowing through this part and ultimately it joins it here, right? This is Yamuna. And some other tributaries which are there, which are actually a part of, you can say, which are actually tributaries of Yamuna river, but because Yamuna itself is a tributary of Ganga, so all these rivers can also be called as tributaries of Ganga. Okay, so you can see here the first tributary of Yamuna and then of Ganga is Chambal river. Okay, so directly Chambal is not joining the Ganga river. Can you see this, children? Chambal, Betwa, these rivers are not joining directly Ganga. Okay, but these are the tributaries of Ganga. Have you understood? These are joining first the Yamuna river, and then as the Yamuna river joins Ganga, so these are also called as the tributaries of Ganga. Okay, this is a point where you'll find the Chambal river is there, and next one is Betwa, right? Number 1 is Chambal, okay. Number 2 is Betwa. Number 3 is Son, right? This is actually Son river. Okay, you can see here, this is flowing through this part. Now the next one is Damodar. This is Damodar river. This river is Damodar. Now come to the next part of it. One very important river is there, that is Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra originates here again near Mansarovar, and it flows towards the east along the, almost you can see the borders of India, right? And as it moves towards the eastern side, it enters from a point in Arunachal Pradesh, right? And it takes a southern turn, right? As it turns towards south, it enters in the Indian territory, right? And this is actually Arunachal Pradesh, and after that it enters in Assam, and then ultimately it joins the Ganga river. Understood, children? Brahmaputra river, again I am telling you, it originates near Mansarovar, right? From here it starts moving like this, towards east it moves, and it actually enters in the Indian territory from a point, and this is actually a southern turn of this river, right? And then it crosses Arunachal Pradesh, and then it passes through Assam, and ultimately it joins the Ganga river, and these two great rivers form a big delta, right? Not a big delta, you can say it's the largest delta of the world, right? This is called Sundarban Delta. So this is formed by these two very important rivers, and ultimately these two rivers, Ganga and Brahmaputra, both join the Bay of Bengal, right? So this is actually a part of the rivers of northern plains of India, or you can say Indo-Gangetic plains, right? Here 3 river systems are working. Number 1 is Indus river system, number 2 is Ganga river system, and number 3 is Brahmaputra river system, right? In Ganga, one more part is there, children. You will find as it flows towards the Bay of Bengal, right, there are a few left bank tributaries of Ganga also, okay, and which are those? Number 1, you can see here, this is Gomti river. Number 1 tributary of Ganga on the left bank is Gomti, right? You can see here it's joining first, then next river is Ghagra, right? First is Gomti, next is Ghagra, then the third one is Gandak. You can see here it's coming straight like this, and the next is Kosi. This is Kosi river. Kosi is almost forming a 7 mark, right? Just like the number 7. Okay, and it ultimately joins the Ganga river. Okay, so this is all about the northern plains of India. Now let's talk about the peninsular region. In the peninsular region, children, you will find again a few very important rivers are present. Number 1 is actually Narmada river. You can see here it's actually arising from here, and it starts moving towards the west. Okay, this is Narmada. Just you can say very close to it, okay, almost parallel to this river. One more small river is actually flowing in the south of it. This is Tapi river. Tapi, or many times it is also called as Tapti, right? This is Tapti river. Okay, these two rivers are flowing in they join the Arabian Sea, right, against the slope of the peninsular India. Now, what is the slope of peninsular India? The peninsular India is actually, its slope is from west towards the east, and this is the reason, children, why all these rivers which are flowing in the peninsular part, they are flowing from west towards east. You can see Number 1 is Mahanadi, number 2 is Godavari, then Krishna, then Kaveri. All these rivers are flowing from west towards the east, right? Reason is the slope of land. Now what is the reason why Narmada and Tapi rivers are not following the slope? The reason is basically these two rivers are flowing through the rift valleys. Okay, the rift valleys, which is generally the result of faulting process. When they flow through the rift valleys, they are not actually doing a lot of erosion, and this is the reason, children, these two rivers don't form any delta. This is about the Narmada and Tapi rivers. Now let's move to the other side. This is Mahanadi. This is Mahanadi river. Come down again to the longest river of the peninsular India, or it is also called as Dakshin Ganga. Now what is it? From here it starts and it continues for a long distance, and then it joins this side, that is the Bay of Bengal, right? This is a small delta which is formed by Godavari. Now come to the next one. Next river in the peninsular India is Krishna. You can see this one. This is Krishna. Now there is a tributary of Krishna also, which you need to know. This is Tungabhadra. The tributary of Krishna is Tungabhadra. And after all these, the last river which we have to mark is Kaveri river, right? This Kaveri river is actually arising from here, and it starts moving towards the southeastern side, right? And then it joins the coast, and it ultimately joins the Bay of Bengal. So this river is called as Kaveri river. So I hope you all have done all these maps. All these rivers have become quite easy to be marked on the map. Fine, children. So we are going to meet again in the next video, and till that time I request you again to share this video with your friends. Okay.